Alright. Welcome everyone to the corner. Today we got a special program for you called The Final Cut, the first of its episode of its kind. And here with me to help kind of celebrate it is my guest, Greg Stoughton from the theater department. Greg, say hello to some to the audience.
What's up, everybody? My name is Greg Stoughton. I'm technically a senior here at Catawba.
Sorry.
I heard that echo.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be picked. I think it's going to pick.
What's up, everybody?
No, it didn't. Well, yeah. Alright, let's try this one last time. Man. I apologize for this. It's...
No worries, dude.
Alright. Take two. Alright. Welcome everyone to The Corner. I'm your host, DJ Hattrick. And today we got a special program for you called The Final Cut. Basically focusing on the theater arts and the music portion here on the Catawba campus. And with me to celebrate the first episode is Greg Stoughton of the theater department. Greg?
What's up, everybody? My name is Greg Stoughton. I'm technically a senior here at Catawba College. And I am in the first show of the spring. References to Salvador Dahli make me hot, playing the coyote.
Nice, coyote. Alright, first off, Greg, how did you become involved with theater?
I started in high school, my sophomore year, got involved with improv class, and then there were auditions listed for their first show, and with a little bit of pushing from my mom and a friend, I got into auditions and took off from there and have been involved ever since.
And how long have you been involved with the theater department here?
Since 2010, so 3 years. Yep.
And how many shows have you performed since being here?
Oh, well, let's see. This will be my 5th.
Nice. Let's see, how is it different from all the other ones that you've done?
Oh, I mean, well, every production is going to be a different experience. This one, I guess the biggest difference is I love doing being involved in the Blue Mass shows because there's more responsibility placed on the students to get the production rolling. And this one of my best friends here on campus, Sydney Berk, is the director, and she's wonderful. She was my best friend first, and then she became my director. And we'd worked together before in the collaboration class on As I Lay Dying and in Legally Blonde. So we're real comfortable with how each other works. We know our methods and processes pretty well, so we're real comfortable with each other, and so it makes for a really easygoing process getting into it.
Nice. Why don't you tell us a little bit something about the upcoming production of Salvador?
All right, let's see. So it was written by a really great playwright named Jose Rivera, and it's in the category of magical realism, as he's coined it. I believe he coined that phrase. I'm not sure, but it differs from realism, which is what most contemporary plays from the 20th century on, in that most of them, like this could be a scene in a play right now, with computers and desks, a normal conversation. In this play, the line between reality and a dream is pretty blurred. You've got a cat and a coyote and a moon that talks. Cactuses that apparently move, and so it's a little bit more on the stranger, eclectic side.
Yeah, definitely on that. You're definitely stretching the magic in terms of magic realism here.
Yeah.
Now, are there like any human characters involved in this play, or is it just strictly?
No, there's 3 humans. Gabriella and Benito, married couple. Benito is in the Army, and he just got home from the Gulf War, the first one. And then there's Martin, a 14-year-old boy who is discovering his manhood and sexuality via Gabriella. That sounded wrong.
Well, part of it sounded wrong.
Maybe I should say it's a disclaimer that Gabriella doesn't help him discover his sexuality. He's just kind of more of the peeping Tom of sorts.
I was gonna say it's like what do you have to be sorry about? It's like
Gabriella's no child molester.
No, of course she's not. I mean, if anything, I think he would be, but no. But why do you think Rivera chose to represent? Like, from what I understand, is that what he does is take the human qualities and gives it to these like animals and all these almost, I guess you'd say non-human.
Yeah.
Like, all the non-human characters, human qualities. Now, why would you think he'd do that?
I think the reason he brought this is Sydney could probably answer this question more accurately for you, but I think the purpose of the cat and coyote being in the play has a lot to do with Gabriella and Benito, and that's all I'm gonna say. Don't want to give too much away.
Yeah. Let's see. What was it like working with the director, considering the fact that you guys were friends first, and then secondly she became your director? How was that? I mean, was there ever like a conflict, or was it ever a conflict?
No, not at all. Me and Sydney have a really open communication in our relationship. We've always had that, and that carried over into this show. The first show we ever worked on was As I Lay Dying, and a huge element of that process was the collaboration as an ensemble, as many people coming together, and being able to trust each other that we have this one idea in mind, that we want to tell this story, and how we tell it. We just have to trust each other that that we have everybody's best interest in mind, and so there's a lot of give and take there. In the trust aspect, sometimes you gotta let things go. Sometimes you really gotta press, and there's not so much of that in references. We've been as an ensemble, we've pretty much been on the same page. Sydney's been a great leader in that respect, that she's taken us on this path, this journey through these characters, through the way we've looked at them and analyzed them, and so pretty much throughout the entire process we've been on the same page of what story are we telling.
Yeah, no, that's good, because I mean, teamwork's probably the most important thing you probably ever would need. I mean,
absolutely.
I mean, teamwork's important anywhere, but I mean, especially when you've got possibly clashing ideas and the way to approach something.
Yeah. Sometimes it can be really delicate with artists of any type when you're working together. A lot of us have certain ideas that we just latch onto, and we feel really strongly about them, feel really strongly about a lot of things, and so we're very emotional people. We're really passionate. We're passionate about what we're doing, and so emotions are high, and a lot of times it's hard to find a group of people in a good medium where you feel very at ease to speak freely and give and receive from the team around you. And in theater in general, it's all about the team. Like, if the team isn't working, then nothing's going to get done.
Yeah.
And that goes from production to from building the set to hanging the lights, to planning and stage management, to the front of house of publicity and making the tickets, to the actors and the director and everybody on stage.
Wow.
And all those aspects have to work together as a team as well to make sure that everything, it's teamwork is the central
concept that needs to be there, otherwise we're basically we're screwed.
And that's a huge element that the theater department here teaches. And they, if you're not getting it, then we're gonna beat it into you. You're gonna work as a team.
Boy, I'm pretty sure people catch on real quickly then, especially if that's their motto.
Yeah.
We're gonna beat that message right into.
Well, I wouldn't call that our motto.
I'm just saying, it's like, wow, that's some motto. That's some saying you got. That's like.
It might feel like the teamwork got beaten into you. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's good. What was working? What was it like working with the cast that was gathered with the ensemble that you had? Not including Sydney as your director, but more of the other actors that are part of the ensemble. What was it like working with them?
It's been fantastic. I mean, all around it's been a fantastic process. I've worked with. I'm trying to think if me and Brandon's a brand new transfer, so we haven't really worked one-on-one together. We've worked together in the shop. So, I mean, yeah, pretty much the theater department's a family. Everybody has their jobs in pretty much every show. You're going to have something that you're doing. Either, at the very least, in your applied theater lab, you're going to be working on something with pretty much every member of the theater department. And so at one time or another, we've worked together in some, again, the teamwork as a team. And so jumping on stage, let's see, me and Eric were in Legally Blonde together. Adam and I, Adam wasn't on stage, but he was present for the entire process of 27 Wagons Full of Cotton. Which was, that was interesting. And Kylie and I haven't worked on stage together before. Verity and I haven't worked on stage together before. So it was pretty new in terms of being on stage with them, being on stage with them.
So it's kind of a mix of working with people that you've worked with on previous productions, and then some that are new to you're new to working with.
Yeah. Everybody's had their experience on stage, but whether we've worked together in this aspect of the production, most of my experience with them has been completely new. But the way that we've worked together as a team, putting up a show, building it, or hanging lights or something, that kind of carries through onto the stage. It's very different because we're dealing with completely different things. We're talking about the play, the story that we're telling, the text and actions and motivations and of what we're doing, actually doing together on stage when we're interacting. And you really, in all honesty, you can't take Sydney out of this equation, because whenever the actors are on stage together, she's involved. There's actually been times when Sydney has sent, like me and Verity, she'll send us across to the annex to work in the dance studio together while she works with other people in the FBC. But even then, her influence is present, because she says, go over in the annex, and I want you to do this, and I want you to focus on this and that, and so then we go do it, and then we come back and we'll discuss it, and we'll also we'll show her what we've done, what we've come up with, and then we'll go over, discuss it, so find out how to integrate it into the actual show. And it's a ongoing transformative process, like from where we began, the beginning of even when we laid down blocking and what we've arrived at now, completely different.
Man, I mean, you want to talk about family, heck, I mean, talk about being there for one another and trusting one another.
Yeah.
So, I guess it was more for the, teamwork and trust and actually acting as a unit, or better yet, as a family almost, kind of plays a huge role in, I guess, in your success.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, I can say with absolute surety, without the family that I have in Catawba Theater, I wouldn't be sitting here with you today, and I wouldn't be able to do this. Like it's absolutely required that I have that we as individuals have the support of the group.
Well, see, and that's what I mean. That's what one of the things I actually now that you mentioned it, it's one of the things I actually respect about organizations and its members, especially as big as the theater department. Because I mean, I'm a band member, and the thing is, I mean, it's the same thing goes. I mean, we each have our own section. We are all responsible for individually, but we have to come together as a unit, or as a family.
Yeah. And those individual units mean nothing if you guys aren't if you guys aren't working in sync.
And even if it means like, even the smallest thing to throw your whole like the whole unit out of whack, it could just be, just talking or distracting and all that stuff. But having that discipline and having that family makes it all it makes the experience even that more worthwhile.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, like I said, with the marching band and wind ensemble, I know where you're coming from. So, I mean, I'll admit, there are some times where there's just like, sometimes I'm just like, you know what, be quiet. Be quiet. I want
yeah.
Be quiet. But, but it's like, you know what, okay, you calm down. We both, at least especially me, it's just, you know what, okay, we're a unit here. I let that all go. Let's just get back and stay focused.
Everybody has that in their family, Families at home, and your extended family, and then your family that you're working with here at Catawba or in your band. You're always going to have times where you're butting heads, but in the end, we all love each other. We have the same goals in mind for what we are here to do, what we want to do, what we're passionate about, and so in the end, we have to come together and put our differences aside, no matter how big or small, and it works.
Let there be a lesson to everyone out there. Treasure your families, because regardless, I mean, they could be your immediate family or those families you make outside of your immediate families. Just they're always there to support you, and you know what? They can go a long way in terms of support and all of that. Now, okay, assuming that, I mean, is Sydney the first student director you've ever worked under, or?
No, I worked with, my first year here, I got cast in Audience of Protest with, which was a Blue Mass show that was directed by Ryan O'Hare. And that was a fun process. That was, it was 2 one-acts, and there were 3 actors. And in the first one act, it was me and another actor, Chris Herring, a good friend of mine. And then the second one, it was our friend Ryan Gladwell and Chris Herring as well, playing the same. Chris was playing the same character in both one acts. So it was a really neat process that we were able to split up rehearsals and focus. It was like doing scene work in class. But working with Ryan, it was my first year here. My first contact with him was, I guess you should say professionally as an actor-director. And then after that, words, he became my friend. So you could say he's my director first and then my friend, as far as chronologically. Whereas Sydney was my friend first, and then she was my director. And the dynamic's not really that different, because number one, the directing classes here are really, really good. They have to be, because the experiences that I've had with Sydney and Ryan both, it's been like it's like I was working with the old guys, with the 40-year-olds to 60-year-old directors that I had in high school and at my old college that I was at before I came to Catawba. They challenged, Ryan and Sydney challenged me, pushed me, and led me in a certain direction to make these new discoveries about the character, about the text, about my relationships with other characters on stage, and you can tell through that everybody's learning, and so there's been trials and errors, but for the most part, They know exactly what they're doing.
No,
it's been really fun.
Oh, okay. What would you say is the difference between the professors here who direct and then the students who direct? What is there like? Do you feel like there's a difference in that gap, or is it pretty much like almost like there's a, I want to say like a midpoint where it's like, you know, they all share the same qualities as like maybe the other, like the main directors for the Catawba productions have like maybe the same qualities that the student directors have, and then vice versa?
That's an interesting question. There certainly is a difference between the students and faculty. In terms of putting them in the position of a director, no, I wouldn't say so. I mean, the faculty obviously has had more life experience, and I mean, most of them have MFAs, so they're a hell of a lot smarter than all of us. But they've taught us how they've taught the directors how to go through a text and know it like the back of their hand, and be the expert on it when they're going into a rehearsal process. So I haven't had an experience yet where a student director has been very different from, well, okay, if we're talking about Sydney and Ryan O'Hare, then no, there wasn't a huge difference between being directed on the faculty and being directed by them. And I'll leave it at that.
Well, again, the reason why I'm asking is just because, again, with the more experienced directors here at Catawba, they may not be the same maybe dynamics as you would see even with the students who are just still gaining that experience.
Yeah.
So that was just the main point of the question. There was just more if there really was any like maybe in terms of dynamics, like what did they do? I mean, did they do things the same way, or were there like different approaches?
No way. Like I said before, the no show is going to be the same. No rehearsal process. Every director is going to be different. For example, like I know Beth Homan is in the middle of rehearsals directing Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead, which is the next show that's coming up about, I think, 2 weeks after Salvador Dahli. So hopefully you'll be hearing from those cast members as that date gets closer. But go see that show too. And the process for that show and the process for As I Lay Dying that she directed, like two complete opposite sides of the spectrum. And the way that Sydney directs and the way that Ryan directs, the way that Chris Fink directed me in 27 Wagons Full of Cotton, and the way, when I almost forgot about Donna. When Donna directed me in her 10-minute scene last semester, it was all different. They all use different methods. There's many different methods that they learn in books, and the dynamic relationship between how they either approach the process or the relationship between the director and the actors, it's not different at all. That I can say is the most similar. The relationship that Sydney has with all of us in the cast, and the relationship that we had with Beth while we were doing As I Lay Dying, not that different. It's pretty much the exact same.
Yeah. Well, like I said, like you mentioned, every show is different, and I just figured maybe with a different director there'd be a different approach. So
yeah. There's definitely completely different approaches.
All right, now going back to the whole concept that Rivera uses animals amongst actual human characters in this production. How did you guys go about interpreting? Like, how'd you guys go about portraying? Like, for instance, how did you go about portraying for a coyote?
The coyote was completely different from pretty much anything I've ever done. Everybody that I've played up to this point was a human character. So when you look at what the coyote is, what he's doing, and what the cat's doing to the coyote, it's not as a human would behave. The Rivera's applied human characteristics to the coyote, but you have to go about this. You can't look at this from a human standpoint. Which is really hard with using traditionally the method of physical action that most of the theater of the actors in the theater department use, which is taught by was conceived by Stanislavski early in around 1900s. Don't quote me on that. I hope no professors are listening. It's heavily based on internal, external motivations, based on the human way. It came around when Freudian psychology was first coming out, so it's very much a human thing. So what we did a lot of research into cat and dog body language, their psychology. We looked at a lot of YouTube videos. I looked at a lot of YouTube videos of how coyotes moved, and then looking at certain graphs of what types of body language a dog would use when he's aggressive or when he's afraid or submitting, or when he's horny. It's all very different, very distinctly different body language for a dog, but it's all very specific. Like when you see it, you know what it's going to be. Like when a dog is afraid, its tail's going to go between its legs. You know that something's wrong with it. When he's threatened, his ears are going to go down. There's very telltale signs. But being human, we can't take these things and just do them because our bodies are built completely different. So what we did is examined the changes in their body language when these things happened, and then tried to integrate those into our bodies as humans, kind of like what Rivera's done with taking human characteristics and applying them to animals. A lot of what helped was of understanding the motivations behind the actions of what these animals are doing. Was Sydney's a psych minor, and she applied Jungian psychology to her analysis of the play, and shared this with us, and it helped us a lot in going about our analysis of what is making these characters do this. Why is this character in the play? What function is it holding and telling the story? And what is the relationship between that character, what it stands for, and then this character and what they stand for in the play?
Man, that wasn't deep. Stop putting a lot of deep emotional, deep emotional, psychological stuff into just, animals and ability to do that. It's just, I guess it's a good thing you do have a psych minor, because it's just like, just from my point of view, being just, more of a business major, it's like, I can understand some things psychologically, but trying to apply all that to that, no. I'm sorry, it's like, I don't know how, I would not know how to react. It's like,
yeah, Sydney's has laid out a very clear path for us as far as developing these things, because no joke, the girl has broken her back over this play. She's definitely earned it. We'll see how what the outcome is when people see it. I know we've had a blast in rehearsal. we've had a great time. It's been a huge challenge, trying to do these things and doing things that are completely new to us. All I know is it's been a lot of fun.
Well, you gotta have fun in all this, because what's the point? But all work and no play.
Yeah, Yeah, I mean, why would you do it if it didn't make you happy?
If,
right?
Yeah, I was gonna say if it was gonna make you miserable.
You definitely don't go into theater for the money.
Oh, what else? Real quick, how have your classes here at Catawba prepare you for what you've done throughout your entire career here as part of the theater department?
I mean, all my classes have been geared towards my career in theater because I transferred here with my AA, so I got a pretty sweet deal that the year that I came here in 2010, they had just decided that if you came in with your AA already completed, your general education requirements were completely waived. So all I had to take were theater classes, which was great. But when I got here, back at my old college in Northwest Florida, I took a couple acting classes. I took a Shakespeare performance class, and then when we got here, we got way more specific. We've got stage speech and movement classes. There's special topics class. There's a dialects class, stage combat, acting for the camera. Let's see. I mean, what am I in now? Intermediate acting, where we're beyond the Stanislavskian methods that I spoke of earlier. We're exploring whole different new approaches to acting. There's directing courses, and way more performance opportunities because of that. Because of the size of the theater department, and the directing classes create a lot more performance opportunities for us, and we're able to put these things that we've learned to the test. And there's also a lot more technical emphasis. That's a whole completely different ballgame, from costumes, lighting, sound, scenic, learning how to do literally everything. And they force you to do everything too through applied theater. By the time you leave Catawba, you will have done maybe not every single thing, but you will at least have a one specialized area of backstage production that you can do really well, and you'll probably have 2 to 4 others that you're at least decent at.
Man, talk about pounding that education into you.
Yeah, we don't sleep.
Well, I'm going to say neither do I, but that's a whole other story. Real quick before we sign off here, what would you say would be some challenges that you've experienced throughout this, setting up this production? Could be just one, I mean...
the biggest would be movement. Trying to integrate that animal body language into these characters, because in some aspect they do have these human qualities. These aren't animals that are speaking words. They're human actors portraying these animals as a more humanistic animal. We're not trying to mirror the exact image of a coyote and a cat and the moon.
I would love to see someone try to mirror the moon. Or hey, get on all fours. Okay. Just start howling or start meowing or purring.
Yeah.
It's like, wow.
So, trying to find a balance between integrating the movement qualities of a coyote, the scrappiness of him, his wildness is whereas a German Shepherd's more of an elegant dog, then you have this coyote that's kind of like, seems like this mutt that's just evolved from all these different species of dogs just like mating over 1 million years, and now it's developed this like ratty, weird looking, screechy, howling thing. And trying to find the balance between that and telling the story as a human actor character.
I had to mention that I mean, has there ever been a point throughout like rehearsal where someone's kind of gotten like really into it and kind of maybe gone overboard, or?
Well, here's the thing. If you've seen the posters, it says for mature audiences only. There's a little bit of language, but that you're not going to notice so much as the sex. Being completely honest.
Yeah, so if you have kids, please leave them at home.
Yeah, not one you want to take your kids to unless you've had some pretty serious talks with them before. Like I said, you know, it's up to every parent's judgment of how mature your children are. So that's your call. But with that element in it, it's kind of a little tough to go overboard because we're already being pushed beyond our normal limits of what we're used to even doing on stage, besides what we're used to doing in real life, you know, like the couples that are involved in this production would never think of doing that in real life, in public,
in front
or private,
or even in, but you know they're doing it, so you know.
Yeah, so
it goes to show dedication. I'll just leave it at that. It goes to show dedication, and I'm not going to throw the word passion there because that can be misconstrued.
Oh, you can say passion. It's very passionate.
Well, you can say it's very passionate, but then it's just like, what do you mean? Like they're passionate as in they're like very dedicated into their work, or are you talking about what they do?
Both.
Okay,
Both.
well then I guess I'll leave it at that then. All right, well you heard it straight from Greg here, people. Go see references to Salvador Dahli, Make Me Hot. Up next week, February 6th through the 9th, starting at 7:30. $8? No, I believe it's $5 for adults, $4 for students. But I can guarantee you, students and heck, my audience members, if you want a really good show for a low cost, this is definitely something.
Worth every dime.
All right. Greg, thank you for coming on the show.
Thanks, Tyler.
And I look forward to your production.
Awesome. See you there.
See ya. All right.
Terrific, dude.
All right.
You want to test it out? See
yeah. This is, stutters.
Yeah.
Show for a low cost. This is definitely something.
Worth every dime.
All right, we got it. On the show.
Thanks.
Good.
Awesome, dude.
All right, let's export this before I say it because I said it the last time, and yeah, by the sounds of it, there's very little trimming to do.
Cool.
So.
Yeah, we had kind of had a test run the other day.
Yeah.
So we're a little bit more practiced.
Well, yeah, honestly, I went like 10 minutes longer than the last time, and.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
How long was that?
That was like almost we're hitting, I think, 34, 35 minutes.
Damn.
Hey, the thing is, it's like getting detail. It's like very in depth, but it's not. I'm just sitting here. Even though I had the questions here, it's not like going, oh yeah, which reminds me.